Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Mama June. Shannon has a hard time deciphering what her husband Justin Strad tells her at breakfast when another family crisis episode rolls out on TLC this Friday. But when he tells her their marriage is not what he thought it would be, well, breakfast is ruined for her. Mama June. Spoilers for Friday night's episode seem to suggest Shannon's marriage looks pretty grim when talking over the breakfast table. Her husband tells her that their marriage is not what he wanted. He goes off with a list of why this wasn't the most inopportune time for him to marry, but they did in a Kurtha ceremony. He listed his recent stay at rehab as something he should have taken into consideration before exchanging VES. His confession shocks her. It is the last thing she expected to hear from him, and it makes her angry. She reminds him that he was also at the courthouse that day to sign the papers. The Wet Star's anger builds when Justin tells her that he only agreed to him while he was in jail. She snaps back. But you were okay with that? The Mama June family crisis star begins to worry. She doesn't understand where all of this comes from. Justin Strud can see that her mood is quickly changing, so he tries to explain. He tells her that when he was in jail, that he was emotionally messed up. I was going through some things. Life isn't where I wanted to be at that point. You know, I just got out of rehab not too long before that, and I wasn't emotionally in it at first. She didn't know how to respond. She tells the wife. Mama June family crisis camera crew. She is afraid. She fears that he may not be emotionally into her. Then her fear takes over and she becomes defensive. She tells him, you knew when you got hooked up with him that I was in blind. Now I'm having all these medical issues, so you're like, oh, let's back out. She demands to know if he has just brought her to breakfast to tell her he wants a divorce. Justin's mom has his Mama June family crisis. Wife freaking out. Of course, she can't help but fear the worst. She knows her health has been an issue lately with her headaches and dizzy spells, but now she is concerned that he is having second thoughts. She wonders if her health problems and the age difference are becoming an issue for him, or has he met someone else? Whatever is on Justin Str's mind has her on edge. The Dove sneak peek video leaves viewers hanging, so Justin Str's response will remain a mystery for now. But if the teaser is any indication as to how the Mama June family crisis season is about to play, it looks like the Shannon family is in for one wild and chaotic season. The early morning sunlight filtered through the kitchen window, casting a golden hue over the mismatched chairs and worn countertops of the Johnsons' cozy kitchen. It was a typical Saturday morning, or so Mama June thought as she bustled about preparing breakfast for her husband and 3 kids. She hummed a tune, the aroma of sizzling bacon and freshly brewed coffee filling the air, creating an atmosphere of comfort and warmth. Morning Mama called out little Tommy, the youngest of the Johnson clan, as he bounded into the kitchen with his tousled hair and mismatched socks. Good morning, sweetie, Mama June replied with a smile, ruffling his hair affectionately before turning her attention back to flipping pancakes on the grill. The kitchen soon filled with the sounds of clinking sigh laughter and the occasional pop and sizzle from the stove. The family was together, enjoying a peaceful start to the weekend, or so Mama June thought as she set a plate of steaming pancakes in front of her husband Jack. She noticed a furrow forming between his brows. His usual cheerful demeanor seemed clouded, his eyes distant as he pushed the pancakes around on his plate. Is everything okay, honey? Mama June asked softly, concern flickering in her eyes. Jack sighed heavily, his shoulders slumping. I think we need to talk. The children, sensing the shift in atmosphere, exchanged puzzled glances before quietly excusing themselves from the table, leaving Mama June and Jack alone in the kitchen. What is it, Jack? Mama June asked, gently, her heart beginning to race with apprehension. Jack hesitated, staring down at his plate for a moment before meeting her game. I don't know how to say this, Junie, he began slowly, his voice strained, but I can't do this anymore. Mama June felt her breath catch in her throat. Can't do what, honey? This Jack gestured vaguely, frustration etched in his features. Us, our life, it's just not working anymore. Mama June's mind raced as she had always thought their marriage was solid, their family unbreakable, yet here they were, the morning light casting long shadows between them as Jack's confession hung heavy in the air. What are you saying, Jack? Mama June asked, her voice barely a whisper. Jack took a deep breath, his gaze never leaving hers. I think we should separate. The words hit Mama June like a physical blow. She felt as though the ground beneath Her head shifted, leaving her unsteady, and lost tears welled up in her eyes as she struggled to find her voice. But why? Jack, what happened? Jack looked away, his jaw clenched. I've been unhappy for a long time, June, he admitted quietly. I love you, I do, but I'm not sure if I'm still in love with you, Mama. June's heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. She had always believed that love was enough, that their bond could weather any storm. Yet here they were standing at the precipice of something she had never imagined, a future without Jack by her side. I don't understand, Mama, June whispered, her voice trembling. What about us? What about the kids? Jack rubbed a hand over his face, his expression pained. I don't have all the answers, June, but I know that I can't keep pretending that everything is okay when it's not. I think we both deserve a chance to find happiness again, even if it means apart. Mama, June felt the weight of his words settle around her like a heavy cloak. The kitchen that had once been filled with warmth and laughter now felt etching, only empty, the silence deafening in its intensity. I need some time, Mama, June finally managed to say, her voice barely audible above the tea of her shattered dreams. I need to process this. Jack nodded solemnly, his eyes filled with regret. I understand, he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. Take all the time you need. With a heavy heart, Mama June turned away from him and fled the kitchen, seeking solace in the sanctuary at her bedroom. The familiar comfort of their home had been replaced by an unfamiliar ache, a longing for the life they had built together, a life that now seemed irreparably broken. Hours passed in a blur as Mama June lay on their bed, staring at the ceiling and grappling with a torrent of emotions. The laughter of their children echoed faintly down the hallway, a poignant reminder of the life they had created, a life that now hung in the balance. When Mama June finally emerged from her room, her eyes were red-rimmed, but determined. She found Jack in the kitchen washing dishes with a quiet efficiency that belied the turmoil in his heart. Jack, Mama June began softly, her voice trembling but resolute. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I do know one thing. Jack turned to face her, his expression guarded yet hopeful. What's that, June? We owe it to our children, Mama June said firmly, her voice steadying with each word. To ourselves, to our love, we owe it to try. Tears welled up in Jack's eyes as he took a step towards her, his hands reaching out tentatively. Do you mean that? Mama June nodded, a flicker of hope igniting within her chest. Yes, she whispered, yes, I do. And in that small, sunlit kitchen, amidst the remnants of a breakfast gone cold, Mama June and Jack embraced, two souls battered and bruised but determined to find their way back to each other.